good as it gets.
Yeah.
Films in Ireland. Eclipse Cinema.
I know it's your favourite time of the week. It is indeed Thursday, and the movies with Collie up there in. Well, he's got them very well today, I have to say. Now he's got some great movies for us. We'll be discussing. We've got a dog story, we've got a love story, and we got some science fiction. Collie, very good afternoon to you.
Well, there is a mix for everyone. Thank you very much, Seamus. It's always a pleasure to be on. Although I must apologise in advance. I have a slight cold, and I'd like to point out. Yes, it's definitely only a cold. I've checked everything. Don't worry. Not that you can get it from Zoom, but it is a slight cold. But if a bit snuffled, I apologise. But I'm sure we'll be able to blow the cobwebs away.
You sounded very doggy today.
Oh, a bit rough was right there for you. You should have taken it. Like, Seamus, that's DJ School 101, surely, to get that joke. Yeah. Anyway, so I suppose will we start with Dog? Well,
yeah,
you have to, because. So this is a big new movie with star Channing Tatum. Now, a lot of people will know Channing Tatum from 21 Jump Street and the Magic Mike movies, so on. And he took a bit of a break. I didn't realize it's actually 2017 since we saw him last. And he just had made a load of movies, decided to take some time off. And we're going to see him in a new big one with Sandra Bullock. And we're going to see him in another Magic Mike, which will please a lot of our listeners to know there's a third Magic Mike movie coming out. But this is a bit of a passion project for him. He's always been a dog owner, and he heard a story about a dog, and he wanted to make this movie. And I suppose, as always, we'll play the trailer first, and then we'll tell you a little bit more about it.
It's expired, sir.
Come on, man. You know how many times I've been in and out of this gate with that?
Excuse me?
What's the odds on license?
Step out of the vehicle, sir.
You want me to step out the vehicle? I'll have a...
He's with the Ranger Battalion.
Ranger Battalion. I've been busting my ass to get my mind and my body back into a good place. I need to get back in the game, sir.
You want to get back in the game? Prove it. Sergeant Rodriguez was a legend. Family funeral Sunday outside of Nogales. They want his dog at the funeral. You do this, and you're back in the game. She won't work with anyone. One minute she's good, the next minute she's sending 3 guys to the ER.
What's up, dog?
And you're gonna go on a little road trip. Easy. What are y'all so scared of? Smell it out, big time. What is your deal, man? Maybe just take the crazy down one notch. Hey! No! No! You're just a demon. You're just a demon. Whatever happened to you, dog? You used to be a legend. Hey! Oh! No! Hey, dog!
You're so good.
How'd you make her get out of your hand?
I just talked to her. See, she's just a noodle. She just is so good.
You don't do anything else psychotic on this trip?
Maybe we can have some fun.
Is that a deal? Shake?
Lulu, is that you?
Good girl. You give hugs now? Really?
Lulu gives the best hug. You've never had a Lulu hug?
No, we don't exactly hug. So you telling me that Nick was just as messed up as Lulu?
Had to work him every day for 6 months. When he stopped struggling, that's when I realized maybe I could stop struggling too.
It's okay. It's just lightning, right?
Look at that.
She's never slept in a nice bed before.
There ain't no shame in wanting a big comfy mattress. I was hoping you might have a room for me and my little girl.
Is that a Purple Heart? Was she wounded?
Yes, she was.
Thank you for your service.
I've never seen this dog exhibit any aggressive behavior before.
Never. She loves people. Oh my God, I can see. You're definitely not the girl I thought I'd be in the tub with, but I'll take what I can get at this point, I guess.
He does this and he's back in the game. Well, that sounds like a good old plot anyway.
Yeah, so classic setup. Bit of a road movie. If he does this, he's back in the game. So Channing Tatum is an ex-Army Ranger. He's clearly been serving abroad and, you know, things haven't gone well. He's having trouble adjusting back to life back in the States. He's got into a bit of issues. They say, look, this legend of a Ranger has passed away. His service dog They want him at the funeral. It's across the country. States is a big country. Will you bring him to it? Classic buddy movie setup, road trip. And of course, the dog also served overseas and is a bit traumatized for it. You can see what's going to happen now. And I have to say, this trailer absolutely charmed me. He is a star anyway. There's something about him. I think when we first came out, we thought he was just a big lunk, and then realized he was also a professional dancer, which made him great in action movies. But he's not just charisma. You know, I think particularly American movie stars do, don't they? You kind of go, you don't know why I like him. You just do. There's just
He's
something
got that John Wayne thing going on.
Yeah, and kind of strong silent and you know, perfect in with this beautiful looking dog. And clearly as well, I thought at first this was going to be a more kiddies sort of, and like Clifford the Big Red Dog, which we might mention later. But I think it is more for an all-round family movie, and with a few, you know, more grown-up themes about like trauma and about how, you know, it can take a while to heal, and sometimes by helping somebody else can be a great way to help yourself. Now, what everyone here is that's listening is thinking, especially those who are big dog lovers, Collie, Seamus, before I put my money up front, tell me, does this go a bit Marley and Me? Does it end that way like so many dog movies do? And the answer is, I don't know. They haven't shown us the movie yet. It doesn't open till Friday morning. I promise I wouldn't give a spoiler away, but if there was tissues needed, I would tell you. But all I can say is, it looks like one for people who love Channing Tatum, people who love just a good road movie. Again, America, there's something, you know, it's such a big country. Road movies are just something special about them. Buddy movies and people who love a big shaggy dog story.
You think it's going to be the real dog, is it? It's not going to be...
Oh, it's definitely real dog. There's no CGI here. Little behind-the-scenes magic. I'm pretty sure there's two of them. And that's how they did it. And Channing Tatum, as I said, is a big dog lover, always owned dogs himself. And he did go when his own dog was passing away. They knew, you know, she was given, you know, a limited amount of time, and he decided to take her on a road trip in America. And that was part of the inspiration for this story, but it's not the only inspiration in the story. So it is a labor of love. He directs it himself with a friend of his. This is the first time he's directed. So it's going to be, you know, there's going to be some emotion in it. There's clearly a lot of jokes in it, because I think you've watched the full trailer, Seamus.
And very funny.
Yeah, it is very funny. And again, stuff like, okay, you've seen the cute dog may embarrass your story before, but when it's done with charm, it's always funny, no matter how many times you've seen it. So I think this is going to be good. I don't know how many people have saw the poster in the cinema and sounded going, we're going to that, right? Regardless. I'm telling you, we're going to that. Never mind your Spider-Man. We're going to that. So I think it'll do well. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. And it opens tomorrow, Friday. So never mind the stormy weather. It'll be nice and warm there, and we can go and see this. And hopefully you'll feel a bit better about the world.
Right, you're good. Well, I know it was Valentine. How does Valentine's go for you last Monday?
Well, my romantic, I suppose it was romantic in that I went to see a beautiful romantic movie in the cinema. Very romantic. I went on my own, and I didn't even buy myself, I didn't even buy myself any chocolates. I did have a diet candy bar. Yeah, it's it's loving yourself, I suppose. So we talked a little bit about this last week. Cyrano, the famous story Cyrano de Bergerac. And in this version, I think most people probably would remember the comedy version, Roxanne, starring Steve Martin. Lots of people would have seen that. There's been loads of film and play versions. This is a version with Peter Dinklage. So instead of traditionally, Cyrano had a big hooter that he was very self-conscious about and wasn't willing to declare his love. In this case, of course, Peter Dinklage is somebody who suffers from dwarfism. And he's in this movie, he is a great warrior. He's a great poet. He's such an intellectual. But the love of his life, Roxanne, who's been friends with all his life, he can't bring himself to declare his love because he just feels he's not good enough for her. People will he has many things going for him. He's the most admired man in all of France, except there's one thing. He can't take mockery, and he's not willing to put his heart out on the line. As it turns out, Roxanne falls in love with a new soldier who is working for Cyrano, and she says, will you help him in the army? Will you help him, help me meet him? And of course, this guy is absolutely gorgeous, and he's a decent guy, but he doesn't have Cyrano's way with words, so Cyrano has to help him woo Roxanne. Now, I have to say, I went to see this on Monday. Oh, I haven't even mentioned the fact it's a musical. But
yes.
It's a certain type of musical. It's not all, oh, is she ever going to love me type of musical. It is one of those that every now and then it breaks into a song, and it's by the excellent American band, The National. So I thought the songs, they're probably more my scale. It's almost like indie pop music rather than your sort of traditional Andrew Lloyd Webber. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's not my cup of tea. And I like this much more. Peter Dinklage is not a great singer, but he's such a brilliant, deep voice. People will know him, by the way, from Game of Thrones, just in case it's not clear. There'll be people going, that's the fella. And he's such a brilliant actor, and he has the world's saddest eyes, which makes him perfect for this, when there's romance and rejection and so on. And I really like this. I'll be honest, I found the end a little bit much, and I think that's because it's been copied and done so many times. It's like saying, Romeo and Juliet, the end was very predictable because every movie, TV show has copied it for the last 500 years. It's not the original. And they were doing this on stage for a while, and it felt a bit like a play. It had the Star Wars effect, where somebody makes a speech and then dies, which always strikes a slightly bad chord. But I must admit, I really like the music. Anybody who likes The National are going to absolutely love this. People who loved Tyrion and Game of Thrones are really going to enjoy this. And it just looks beautiful. It's made by Joe Wright, who people will know made things like Atonement. And I think it's filmed in Italy, and just beautiful, warm countryside and all these spectacularly beautiful people and brilliant acting. So it's very good. It's a bit hokey at the end, but I think that's the story rather than the film, if you know what I mean. They have to end the way Cyrano ended. But I definitely 2 thumbs up from me. Won't be for everyone. I think we've made that clear. It's quite niche. But I think if you like any of those things, you'll really enjoy it.
Okay, if you like a musical and you like a love story, you might like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, romantics like ourselves, Seamus.
Absolutely. Missed It Monday film is back. The Matrix Resurrection. And
it's always a really popular night. And can I just say thanks to everyone? We had our biggest ever Missed It Monday with House of Gucci. And I think it might have been because of my Jared Leto impression last week, but I'm not sure.
That's good,
So this week, it's the Matrix Resurrections. And we talked about this with Kingsman. These are the 2 movies that came out just when it went to the 8 o'clock restrictions. And I feel it really hit them. Because I know you can watch a movie at any time and it's dark in the cinema, but certain movies you want to go at nighttime, don't you? You want to go on a Friday night. You can't be going on a Tuesday afternoon. And I think this was one of them. And I really did like this. And, it took me maybe half an hour to go, it's not the original Matrix, is it? But once I came to terms, it goes, no, it's not, but it's really good. And it's certainly, in my opinion, the best of all the sequels. We've had 3 sequels. It's definitely the best of them. I was really glad by the end I got to go into this world again with Neo and Trinity. And a bit like, you're giving me the face now that you gave me with Jackass going, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's not for me. Let's face it, if you never liked The Matrix, this one ain't going to change your mind. But Keanu Reeves, like we're saying about Peter Dinklage, Keanu Reeves, you can watch him all day. He's great.
Pretty good. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's such a cool guy. And he's such a... You know what? He's not the world's greatest actor, but when he's good, whether it's as Neo, whether it's as in Bill and Ted, when it's Speed, he's just great.
Okay, that's our Mr. Monday film. And right, 14 seconds. What's coming up next week?
Well, can I just say, speaking of dogs, Clifford the Big Red Dog is only $3.95 for families during midterm. So that might be a nice one. Next week, it's The Duke, which is definitely going to be up your street, Seamus.
Okay, looking forward to that. That's our man at the movies.